Please repeat. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nanda gopa kumaraya govindaya namo namaha. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. So today we'll be studying chapter number 30, third canto. So the chapter is titled Description by Lord Kapil of Adverse Fruitive Activities. Fruitive activities as in? Calm. We want some fruit of your karma. You want phal, right? Of some activities that we perform. And what is the result of those activities? Why do we perform those activities? What is the driver for those activities? So we will look at all those aspects. So Bhagavan Kapil Dev is responding to the questions from Mother Devhuti. Yeah? Mother Devhuti had asked him question in the last chapter. Mother Devhuti asked 3 questions. If you remember, the first question was, Bhakti Yogasya Margam Me Bruhi Vishtarasha Prabhu. Oh, my dear Lord, please explain to me the path of devotional service in detail. And we were saying, she was asking the marma, the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Earlier, the Supreme Lord had described, but here in the last chapter, you can go back and read yourself. But that was the marm. What is the essence of devotional service? And the Supreme Lord spoke about the various living entities. How there are species which have no life symptoms. There are species which have minimum life symptoms. There are species who have 4 legs, 2 set of teeth, 2 legs, who can walk, Brahman. All those are explained, and then accordingly you can behave and you can establish a relationship with them from a devotional perspective. From a devotional perspective. And the Lord very clearly mentioned that people who worship me, but who don't respect the other living entities, he does not consider them to be a devotee. He's saying they are just pretending to be a devotee. In the temple, in front of Vigraha of the Lord, they might be performing arati, but if they do not see me in other living entities, then that is useless. So very important in our progress for devotional service. But he has also mentioned about, like I mentioned, the various species, you have to use your intelligence, vivek, to do the discrimination. You can do the discrimination. If you go and bow down in front of a, person who is full of ahankar, then what is it going to result in? The Supreme Lord is inside him also, or her also. But if you are going down to him, you are increasing his ahankar, and then he will commit more and more sins. So you should discriminate. Not in the sense of thinking bad about them, but you can stay away from them so that you focus on your devotion service. But remember, Krishna is inside them also, with that mindset. Discrimination है, पर वो घृणा नहीं है. Hatred should not be there. That is the key point to understand. Yeah. So with that, so that is the marm. That is the essence of devotions. Sometimes people progress to the highest level, but that feeling of, demeaning others, that becomes the reason for the downfall. That is why the Supreme Lord has, stressed this point so much in that. Yeah. So that was one question. Then the second question, Mother Devahuti asked about the Kal. Kalasya Ishvara Rupasya Paresham cha Parasya te Swarupam Bat Kurvanti Tad Heto Kushlam Jana. My dear Lord, please describe the symptom of the Kal, of the time. Tad Heto. Out of scare, because they are scared of Kal, because they respect Kal, in whatever way they relate themselves with the Kal, Tad Hetu, for that purpose, Kushla, they perform good activities. Please describe the symptom of Kal to me. That was the second question. And the Supreme Lord described about the Kal. Describe the symptoms of the Kal. Right? He's saying the time causes the transformation of material manifestations. Transformation of material manifestations. No matter what you do, how much you protect anything and everything, with time, it will depreciate. Right? It will change with the time. So the transformation will occur no matter how precious it may be or how carefully you. So time causes that. Then Supreme Lord also said, time is another representation of the Supreme Lord. So very important. Yeah, time is another representation of Supreme Personality. Yeah, and Krishna has spoken in Bhagavad Gita, Kalo Asmi. I am the Kal, I am that time. Then Sarv Ashraya. Everybody is under the shelter of the time. Everyone. No one is spared from the Kal. Everybody. And Kal also enters everyone's heart. And then time causes annihilation of one by another. It's time factor. When Ashwathama released Brahmastra on Mother Uttara, on the womb of Mother Uttara, to kill Parikshit Maharaj, who was in the womb of Mother Uttara, she ran towards Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj was there, Arjun was there, everyone was there. But he went through the whole crowd and straight away went to Krishna. And then she's praying to the Lord Supreme. He's saying, Pahi, Pahi, Mahayogin, Dev, Dev, Jagatpati. Na tvad anyam abhayam pashe yatra mrityu paraspara. Na tvad. There is no one else that I see here who can protect me. Because here everybody is becoming the cause of other person's death. Yatra mrityu parasparam. So we are all going to become cause of other persons, other living entities' death, some in one shape or form. Time arranges that. Then Supreme Lord also said, people who respect time, very important. People who realize time, who respect time, for them, the time encourages them. But people who ignore time, the same time Kal destroys them. And then Supreme Lord goes on to say that because of the order of the Kal, because of the fear of the time, what happens? All the demigods, the controlling deities, they're performing their duties because they are fearful of the time. The trees and creepers, they are giving fruits and flowers, seasonal fruits and flowers, because they are fearful from the time. If they don't do that, what will happen? Kal will destroy them. The tree will be destroyed. Guna avatars are performing their activities under the influence of Kal. What to speak of? Lord Ram, when he was there, the time personified came. He said, my dear Sir Lord, your time, your Leela on this earth planet is now complete. You may please go back. See? He came and he told Lord Ram. And you know that Leela, this big pastime, how first Lakshmanji had to go. That's a long story. Maybe we discuss that on Ram Navami. But Kal, incarnations, they had to go. Lord Krishna also, when the time came for his leaving, all the demigods came. Indra, Brahma, they came. And they said, my dear Lord, as you are going back, please go through our lok. You're on the earth planet. As you going up, pass through the heavenly planet so that we can get your darshan. They came and made that prayer to the Supreme Lord. Kal, time. The Supreme Lord puts himself under that. Such is the influence. And then the Supreme Lord says to Mother Devhuti, so ananta ant karo. Kalo anadir adikrat. Avya janam janen janyan. Marayan mrityun antakam. My dear mother, that Kal, who is anadi adikrat, who does not have any beginning, but that Kal is the reason for beginning for everyone else. Adikrat. He's aware. Aware means what? Aware means जो खर्च होता है, which depreciates, but time does not depreciate. Om Purnam Purnat Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. If you take something out of Purn, that is also Purna. And what is left, that is also Purna. So that is something we call Avya. No matter how much you take out, what you take out is Purna, what remains is also Purna. So that is the definition. That is how we understand. Kal is like that. Avya. Yeah. Oh, my dear mother, that Kal who is the beginning of everyone, but it does not have any beginning. It is Avya. And it is Anant, but it becomes it does the Ant for everything else. Anta karo. Yeah. Janam janena janyan. From a father, he gets son to take birth. Like this, he creates this whole universe. Janam janena janyan. Marayan. And then he also destroys this whole creation. And not just that, Mrityuna Antakam. And then in the end, he also destroys Yamraj, the god of death. This is how the Supreme Personality, his power of Kal. This is the description of the Kal. This is how it operates. And then in this chapter, continues the third question. So this was the second question. Please remember. And the third question was, the Mother Devhuti is now asking about how the transmigration of the various living entities. Virago yen Bhagavan sarvato bhavet. Achakshava jiva lokasya vividha mama samsati. My dear Lord, please tell me, Vividha, the various yonis, the various type of bodies, the living entity, Jeev, in this lok. world goes through. Some Shruti, please tell me, and by hearing that virag, the detachment from everything, bhavet. Please tell me that. So in this chapter, Supreme Lord will talk about that third question, and it will be answered in next three chapters, 30, 31, and 32. This question will be answered in these chapters. In today's chapter, the Supreme Lord will explain about the fruitive activities. What happens to the people who are attached in this body and in the family life? Kutumb. Kutumb word you will hear many times in this chapter. The Supreme Lord has used that word. Kutumb bharana, taking care of your so-called family members, parivar. Yeah. So what happens to them? And then when the living entity takes birth as a human being, then what happens? It's in the next chapter. And next chapter, the Supreme Lord is describing how the child in the womb appears, and then the emotions the child goes through inside the womb. That is the next chapter. And in the 32nd chapter, he again talks about liberation of certain type of living entities. How does that happen? And then in the final chapter, Maitreya Rishi tells Vidurji about the activities of Bhagavan Kapil Dev, and that will conclude third canto. Yeah, so today we're going to read from 30th chapter, third canto. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Adhastan Narlokasya. Adhastan Narlokasya. Adhastan Narlokasya. Adhastan Narlokasya. Yavatir Yatnadayah. Yavatir Yatnadayah. Yavatir Yatnadayah. Yavatir Yatnadayah. Kramshe sam anukramya. Kramshe sam anukramya. Punah atra avrjet shuchihi. Punah atra avrjet shuchihi. Word by word translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. Very important. Please focus on every word. Please repeat. Adhastat. From below. Narlokasya. Human birth. Yavatihi. As many. Yatana. Punishments. Adaya. And so on. Kramshah. In a regular order. Sam anukramya. Having gone through. Punah. Again. Atra. Here on this earth. Avrajet. He may return. Shuchi. Pure. So what Bhagavan is telling in this world is, from here, from this earth itself, or after taking a human birth, you go to hellish planets, you go through all the various species, adhas, all the lower planetary systems which are hellish planets, and you go through that process. Because of your sinful activities, you are going through the reactions of the sinful activities. then you come back again here. Punar atra avrjet shuchi. After purification, you come back here. That is why you hear many times, you have all been through all the various type of lives. You have been even Indra. They say when you are Brahma, when you become Brahma, from there you don't come back. But up to the level of Indra, you come back. Right? So you've been through everything. Right? And then just go through that. So you were here, you went through all of that, now you will come back here again. Now what do you want to do? You want to make a U-turn? Yeah, so let's focus on that. Now let's understand the translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki? Yeah. Please repeat. Having gone through all the miserable, hellish conditions, and having passed in a regular order through the lowest forms of animal life prior to human birth, and having thus been purged of his sins, one is reborn again as a human being on this earth. Yeah, you are born again as a human being on this earth. So maybe we should recite the verse. Yeah, maybe one Prabhuji and one Mataji. Please recite. Everybody repeat.
Adhastan
Adhastan
Yavatir Yatanadaya
Yavatir
Kramshaha Sam Anukramya
Kramsha Sam Anukramya
Punara Atrijet Shuchi
Punar Atra Abrajet Shuchihi. Mataji wants to try. Adhastan Narlokasya Yavatir Yatanadayah Kramsha Sam Anukramya Punar Atra Abrajet Shuchihi. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please hear. Just as a prisoner who has undergone troublesome prison life is set free again, the person who is always engaged in impious and mischievous activities is put into hellish conditions. And when he has undergone different hellish lives, namely those of lower animals like cats, dogs, and hogs, by the gradual process of evolution, he again comes back as a human being. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that even though a person engaged in the practice of the yoga system may not finish perfectly and may fall down for some reason or other, his next life as a human being is guaranteed. It is stated that such a person who has fallen from the path of yoga practice is given a chance in his next life to take birth in a very rich family or in a very pious family. What is that yoga practice? That yoga is not standing upside down or, performing, touching your feet. Not that yoga. Ashtanga yoga, you can say, but the yoga practice which is aimed towards Supreme Lord. Ashtanga yoga, Dhyan yoga, Gyan yoga, any yoga, but yoga which is aimed towards the Supreme Lord. That yoga. Okay? If we fall down from that, then we are given another birth, another chance. That's what Prabhupada is saying. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked, if somebody falls down, what happens to them? Then Bhagavan says, what is that line?
शुचीनां श्रीमतां देहे योगभ्रष्टो विजायते अथवा योगिनां श्रीकुलभवतीतां एतद्धि दुर्लभम्.
Very nice. Yeah. Shuchi Nam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrashto Abhijayat. Shuchi Nam means pure Brahmins. Right? Now, like I said, these children, they are born devotees. They are born into this family. They must have performed some pious activities in previous life. So they are born in this. Shrimatam, rich families, because Lakshmi, when you have Lakshmi, when you have dhan, if you use it properly, it helps you. You can progress on this mark. So these two. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. Yeah, offered a chance. It is stated that such a person who has fallen from the path of yoga practice is given a chance in his next life to take birth in a very rich family or in a very pious family. It is interpreted that rich family refers to a big mercantile family, because generally people who engage in trades and mercantile business are very rich. One who engage in the process of self-realization or connecting with the supreme absolute truth. See, that's what the yoga is referring to. Connecting with the supreme absolute truth. But fell short is allowed to take birth in such a rich family or in the family of pious Brahmanas. Either way, he is guaranteed to appear in human society in his next life. It can be concluded that if someone is not willing to enter into hellish life, as in Tamishra or Andha Tamishra, then he must take to the process of Krishna consciousness, which is the first class yoga system. Because even if one is unable to attain complete Krishna consciousness in this life, he is guaranteed at least to take his next birth in a human family. He cannot be sent into a hellish condition. Krishna consciousness is the purest life, and it protects all human beings from gliding down to hell. To hell, to take birth in a family of dogs or hogs. Okay? Very important. Okay? Srila Bhaktivedanta purports ki, let's do Manglacharan and then we will discuss. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Savadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutermahadbhir puro vibho nirmayashete yadamosha purusha bhunte gunansho dasasho dashatmakam solank srashta bhagavan vachamsi me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satat Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Pantanam Sarvaloka Rishi Dev Janma Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishi Dev Janma Prasannam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. May the Supreme Lord please decorate my tongue. May the right words come at the right time. May we are all truly able to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarv Srila Prabhupada, and all the living entities. Srila Prabhupada ki. So, in this chapter, let me share my screen. So this chapter is divided into two parts. There are 34 verses, and the first section of the chapter is life and death of a materialist. And then in the second section, Supreme Lord talks about what happens after that. Where do they go? But first is about the life and death of a materialist. He's still continuing about the power of time, because like I said in the last chapter, Mother Dehuti asked, the Supreme Lord described, and he concluded that chapter by saying that time, who is the beginning for everyone, but that time itself does not have any beginning, and who is Anant, and he becomes the reason for Ant for everyone else. Yeah. And he becomes the reason. He gets son born from father. Like this, the whole universe is created, and then the time itself gets destroyed, and in the end, he also destroys the death person, death itself, Yamraj. So in this chapter, the Supreme Lord continues. He says, Tasya etasya jano nunam. That Supreme Person, that time, my dear mother, that time itself. He has described that. Now he is coming to materialist people like us. Tasya etasya jano nunam, right? Nayam Veda Uru Vikramam. Kalyamano Api Balino. Kalyamano Api Balino. Yeah. Vayor Iva Meghavali. So what Supreme Lord is saying, that these living entities, Nunam, certainly, my dear mother, certainly these living entities, they don't appreciate Uru Vikramam, the greatest strength of that time, of that Kal factor. Kalyamanopi, even though because of that time, they have gone through different species of life. अलग अलग योनियों में इन्होंने जन्म लिया है. They are born into different bodies, different yonis, because of that Kal factor only. And they don't know the strength of the Kal. In a similar way, he gives an analogy, like the clouds. Clouds are taken away by the wind. Blowing wind takes the clouds away. Sometimes you would have seen, sometimes when in the farms, when people need rain and they see cloud at a far distance, they say, oh wind, please bring the clouds here because we need rain in my fields. And sometimes when they don't need the rains, they pray, oh my dear, oh wind, please take these clouds away because we don't need rain. It's going to destroy my crop in the field. They pray, the farmers. But here the Supreme Lord is saying the clouds don't realize the power of wind. Similarly, these living entities like us, Kalyamanopi, we have been going through transmigrating from one body to another body, one species to another species. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayam. We have taken birth, we have died, we have gone into mother's womb, come back again, we have gone through that cycle, but we don't appreciate that why is it happening. So power of time, the Supreme Lord says, destroys everything. Then how to make them realize the power of time? Then Supreme Lord says, yam yam artham upadakte dukkhena sukha hetave tam tam dhunoti bhagavan puman shucha yatkritam. Yam yam artham upadakte. Whatever this living entity arranges dukkhena, by going through many problems, sukha hetave, for the purpose of happiness. Whatever they arrange. And we all have experienced that. Sometimes we so nicely, so carefully arrange our material life, but suddenly something comes. Like in the case of Gajendra. He was having a happy life. No problem whatsoever. He had thousands of wives, he had his children, he had his kutumb. One fine day, he was going for a dip in the lake, and a crocodile came and grabbed his leg. And then he could not come out. He tried thousands of years. His children tried, his friends came. They formed a chain. The elephant behind held on to his tail, and then the behind held on to that tail, like the chain. And they tried to pull him out. No, nothing happened. And time went. Gajendra is thinking, why? Like this we think, right? Sometimes. Bhagwan, kal sab theek tha. Everything was going fine until yesterday. Suddenly what has happened? Why this problem has come with me? So that is a message. That is a message to us. And it's very easy to say, for me to say here, sitting here. But through the association, we can help each other realize all this arrangement that we are making. Through the help of each other, we realize that no, one day we have to go. One day the same family members, they want to take us. You die within 2 hours, they say, take the body, take the body. It'll start smelling. Same. So that time factor. My Guru Maharaj says the old age is given because at least now, in the old age, when we become invalid, when we are not able to do anything, at least then we will realize there is some supreme power. Now at least this living entity will look towards me. Because as a loving father, he wants to take us back. He doesn't want us to fall again into this cycle, right? You all have children. You want your children, please come back, my dear son. My dear daughter, please come back. We all try so many endeavors to bring them back, to help them. This is for your good, please. Please, I beg you, please hear me. Right? We try all those things. So power of time. Supreme Lord is saying that this Jano Nunam Na Ayam Veda Uru Vikramam, the greatest strength of the time, these living entities, they don't know, my dear mother. And that is why then the time destroys. So that we realize now, it is going to be destroyed one day. Yam yam artham upadatte. Whatever we have arranged, whatever we arrange for our own happiness. Now, does it mean we should not? We should. But yoga, Link it with Krishna. Somehow link it with Krishna. If you got a nice car, use that car to go to temple. Use that car to come to programs. Right? If you got a healthy body, use that body. Body is just another vehicle for the soul. So transport you to some pair where Krishna Katha is going on. So make these a nice arrangement to serve the Supreme Lord nicely. Rishi Kena Rishi Kesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. From these senses, perform the devotion service to the master of the senses, who has given us everything, same concept. So that's why. And then, when everything gets destroyed, and then Supreme Lord says, then the same living entity, they lament. Destroys that he acquires, leading him to lamentation. So this is about the people who are materialists. And you can go, you can link yourself, you can relate yourself. We all can relate ourselves. What do we lament for? I've arranged everything for my happiness, but then I'm lamenting. So Supreme Lord is saying here that because this adhruvasya dehasya sanubandhasya durmati dhruvani manyate adhruvasya. Dhruv means certain, permanent. But this is apermanent. Adhruvasya dehasya sanubandhasya durmati. This durmati, this living entity, my dear mother, because his mat, his intelligence is applied somewhere else, then in this day, or things related to this body, anubandhasya, and the things related to this body, household things, wife, husband, house, these properties, etc., everything. Because that durmati, he is thinking they are permanent, but adhruvasya, my dear mother, they are impermanent. Dhruvani manyate mohad, because of the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord, they think these are permanent, and he is connected to that, those impermanent things. That is why he is lamenting for the loss of those things. Yeah. Doesn't mean we become careless, very careful, right? You know, let's keep the concept clear. Doesn't mean you leave your doors open, you know, house unlocked, throw your wallet on the street. Doesn't mean that. But try to understand. You know, sometimes you have to be attached, but with some level of detachment. Be prepared that this is going to be taken away at some point of time. Attached, but with some level of detachment also. And be clear. But as long as we are here, we should be clear in our mind that we are here to serve the Supreme Lord, and then we have to go. We have to go to our next destination. It is like a train station. You're just waiting for the train to come and then go. But they lament. So this is the Supreme Lord is continuing. And this is because of the power of time, mohat. And then the Supreme Lord goes on to say, he finds a particular satisfaction in any kind of species, even in hell. Now, because, my dear mother, the Jeev does not understand the power of time, because he is connected, he is too much attached to all these material possessions, then he laments, and at the same time he finds satisfaction. Today I have done this, today I have fixed this. You find some level of satisfaction. We all have experienced that, isn't it? We all have experienced that. Sab set ho gaya. You know, everything done so nicely. Now I can sleep nicely. Right? Everything is set. Kitchen is set. House is set. Bedroom is set. Aircon is fit. So life jingalala. Right? Everything is set now. But suddenly something happens, right? And to that extent, Like the Supreme Lord is saying, if they are born into a body of a hog or a dog, they find satisfaction in that body itself. You take, for example, if you go and ask an 80-year-old that if you die now, you will be given the body of a prince, what will he say? Nahi, abhi nahi. Abhi nahi, abhi 80 saal. Let me stay in this body. Don't want to die, right? Even if you offer them to become a prince, give them a prince's body, so much attached. Similarly, these dogs, you know that famous story about Indra once cursed by Brihaspati. He became a hog. And when his time came, Brahmaji came to take him back. Brahmaji is telling him, Indra, let's go. Your time has come. Indrasan is empty. Indra is required in the heavenly planets. And Indra is saying, what are you talking? Who are you? Go away. That Indra in the body of a hog ran away from Brahma. And then Brahma is chasing him. Indra, chalo. Indra, chalo. And then he's saying, okay, I can go there. Will I be able to take my wife and my children with me? Brahma is saying, what are you talking about? And then he asked, Acha, wahan pe will I be able to eat stew? Will there be mud where I can go there? And Brahma is saying, Indra, what are you talking? He was so happy in that body. He didn't want to leave. And then finally, Brahma had to forcibly take him back to make him Indra again. See, so much is the attachment. In whatever species, that's what Bhagavan is saying. He finds a particular satisfaction in any kind of species. Once you are there, then you think, this is it. This is my best thing. A bird thinks, okay, I've got me, my female partner and my children. That's it. Me and mine. Me or mera parivar. Everything. And to the extent, my dear mother, even if they are put into the hellish planets, there also they start finding satisfaction. But the process of time. Yeah. The process of time. He finds. Then he goes on to say, but why is that? Then the point to understand, why is that? You ask yourself, why? Why does he get so attached? Then the Supreme Lord says, because Atma Jaya Sutta Agar. Atma as in his own body, Jaya as in Patni, Sutta as in son, Agar as in home. Atma Jaya Sutta Agar. Pashu Dravidam Bandhu. Pashu as in animal, as in their wealth in villages. Dravidam, other money in the bank balance, and his bandhu, so-called friends. Right? He is so nirudha moolam, nirudha mool hridaya, atmanam bahumanyate. Nirudha mool, such a deep-rooted attachment to these things. And he thinks himself greater because of these things. Because of that. You understand the root cause now? Because of attachment in these things, in whatever state the living entity is, he starts feeling happy, conditioned, customized in that position because of these connections. Atmanam bahumanyate. He thinks himself to be great. So the impetus for family life and deep-rooted attraction for family. Solitary embraces with wife or husband or woman, you know, he thinks that's it. The children, when father comes home, children call Papa, 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 Papa. And then we just get so much connected, so much vatsalya. When Dhritarashtra knew Duryodhana was such a dusht, but he was still so much connected to him. Vidurji told him straight away, Sa esh dosha. He is the dosh personified. Duryodhan is dosh personified. Grihan pravishto. He has entered your house. Purusha avidaste. Who is envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has entered your house. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Tejashva ashaivam kul kaushalaya. Tej as in chhod do isko, leave him. Ashu, quickly leave him. Ashaivam, because he is ashaiv. Shaiv means pure. Auspicious. He is inauspicious. Kul kaushalaya. If you care for the kul, if you care for your dynasty, get rid of him. Krishnad Vimukha, because he is against Krishna. Get rid of him. Even then, Dhritarashtra could not leave him. So that attachment, that impetus for family life. And when they call father and wife, so that's why, that's how the women and children. So he's attaching that. And then all the time, what he is doing? He is constantly anxiety to maintain the family. Because of that attachment, he is thinking constantly how to feed the family, how to put food on the table, how to give them luxurious gifts. Recently, there was an incident, one big law firm in America. Generational lawyers, the father is in the prison now, serving life sentence. He got his son a water boat or something. And they went on the boat. He took his friends there to show his boat. They were all drunk. He had some accident. Somebody died in the boat. And then he was going to be prosecuted. And then father tried to help his son. They tried to cover things up. And then one thing led to other, one thing led to other. And then finally, the father is in the prison. He ended up killing his own wife, killing his own son, in a fear that they might reveal something. So one thing led to another. So to fulfill their desires, that living entity, my dear mother, he is always anxious how I can serve them, how I can give them good things. But the good things, if it is without Krishna, then it is zero. Give them. Sometimes, we are destined to go through these reversals. Sometimes. But the point is, in those scenarios, we still take it as okay, maybe this is what Krishna desired for us. Ye tu sarvani karmani. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita saying, 12th chapter, verse number 6 and 7. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara. You just do for me. Sarvani karmani, all your karmas. Mai ananya ne eva. Dhyantam. Yogena. Mai ananyen eva yogena. Ananya, without any, there is no exclusively. If you are doing it for me, dhyantam upasate. Upasate, you come close to me, or you are performing devotion service to me. Tesham aham uddharata mrityu samsara sagarat. Tesham, to those people, Arjun, I uplift them from the mrityu, samsara sagar, this cycle of life, death, old age and disease. Oh Arjun, I lift them. Tesham aham sam uddhrata na bhavami chirat partha. Another promise by the Supreme Lord. Na bhavami chirat partha. They don't have to wait very long. Oh Parth. Not very long. I just take them. I uplift them from this. Mai avesha chetasa. Whose chetana is avesh in me. Always who are thinking about me, Arjun, I take care of them. So no matter the reversals come, so it be. Let them come. Yeah. So this is Krishna's promise. There nahi lagegi. You don't have to call SOS or 000 or 100 or 919. Whatever numbers are there, they have a direct connection with the Supreme Lord. Yogena, that yoga, by that yoga, they are connected with the Supreme Lord. And in this Kali Yuga, association is very important. Through this association, something will go inside us. Something will help us. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah. So constantly in anxiety to maintain family, and then he commits violence. He commits violence against them. Yeah. And then little bit of problem he solves. Little bit of problem he solves. He thinks, I've done a great. Like you have problems in life and you fix them. Yeah. You fix those problems, then you feel, oh, I have done something good. Material problems you solve, somebody was, whatever. We all have experienced that. We feel great sense of achievement. Chalo, problem solved. Yeah. And then suddenly there is a bigger problem waiting. Right? Right? We think that was it, but no. And then, my dear mother, they commit violence in order to maintain the family. And then that living entity goes to hell. Then he says, while they're trying to maintain the family, my dear mother, they are not always successful. The living entity is also unsuccessful. He's trying everything, he's unsuccessful. Then he tries to take others' money, others' wealth to take care of his family by wrong means. Still he's unsuccessful, desiring others' wealth. And when he's desiring others' wealth, he again meets failures. And then some time comes, he is not able to maintain the family. Kutumba bharena akalpo means he is unable to take care of his kutumba. And then what happens? The same family that he looked after, now he loses their respect. Like in the farming, in the villages, if an ox is old, then they just leave him. Old ox, nobody cares. What is the use? Bringing him home, what purpose will it serve? You can't use him for farming. He will be staying there. You will be giving him some food, then taking care of his health. What is the good? Nobody. So they abandon the old ox. So like that, the old man, he loses the respect from the family. So this is right. And then old age comes. And then in the old age, the person is lying in the bed and he is coughing. Kantha ghur ghurayate. Gur. Old men. Sometimes you say, I can't sleep. He's coughing whole night. I have to have a morning shift. What's wrong? Right? The old man is not letting me sleep. He's creating troubles. So like this, they get treated by the family members. Kantha gurgurayati. Diseased, not respected. And then all the family members are standing next to him. They want him to speak. They say, Papa, bolo kuch. Bolo. Property kahan rakhi hai? What is the bank account? Where are the bank account details? All these. My grandfather used to tell us this is a true incident. The time came and the sons are asking father, Father, where is the dhan? As they say, dhanani bhumau pashvohi goste. In old days, they used to put the money underground. So he's asking, where is dhan? And then my grandfather says, so the old man signaled them, the dhan is hidden in the field, in the farmland. They said, okay. And then they, when he passed away, they quickly went and did the, antim sanskar and everything. Then they went to the farm and then they started digging the land. They could not find anything. In that process, they dug the whole land. And when they dug the whole land, they could not find anything. Then they thought, okay, now the land is ready. At least, put some crop, put some seeds. And as they put some seeds, when the crop time came, when the harvesting season came, theirs was the best crop in the village. Because they had dug the land so much. The more you dig the land, the soft it is. And the soft it is when you put the seed, very quickly the seeds fructify. That's what happened. So my grandfather said, so dhan was in the land. So they did not get the whole dhan hidden under the land, but by this process they realized, okay, this is what our dying father meant, that the dhan is in the land. Go and look after it nicely, and then you get a nice crop. Yeah, so they are asking him to speak, but he is unable to speak. He wants to speak, but he is unable to speak. So there again, the Supreme Lord tells his mother, Kala Vasha. Kala Vasham Gata. Because he is under, Kal Pash Vasham Gata. Kal ke Pash, the news of Kal, the news of time, because that has taken over, so he is unable to speak. He wants to speak, but he is unable to speak. Kal Pash Vasham Gata. Once again, Kal, the power of time. And then all his relatives are standing there. They are crying. They are crying, and then he says, my dear mother, that person, Kutumb Bharen, who was always busy, who was always thinking how to take care of my Kutumb, how to take care of my family. Kutumb Bharen Vyakritam Atma Ajitendriya, who was always engaged in taking care of the family, whose Atma, whose soul was always thinking how to take care of family, how to take care of Kutumb. That Kutumb is standing there now. Ajitendriya, who could not control his senses in that process. Right? Mriyate, Rudnam, he dies. Rudnam, Swanam, those so-called family members, they are crying, and he dies. Yes. He dies. Yeah. In a miserable state of mind. Yeah. Uru bhavaya. Uru as in a what you call Uru Vedanaya Astadhi. Vedana, you understand? Vedana? What is it called in English? Pain. Great pain. He's in great pain. Astadhi. Right? As in ast. Sunset. Like this person leaves the body in the presence of his family members. So this is life and death of a materialist. You understand now? How he lived his life and how he died. At the time of death itself, he was worried about the Kutumba Bhare and how to take care of the family members, and he dies. Then what happens next? Now, as he's about to die, the Supreme Lord tells his mother that he sees Yam Dutau Praptau. Yamduts came. Then two Yamduts came. As those Yamduts came, he saw them. Sadrashva. Trasta Hridaya. His heart is broken because looking at them, they are so miserable. So scary when he sees them. Let me read from Guru Purana here now. This is Lord Krishna speaking to Garudji. Please hear the process. You can see this? You can see this. So I'll read it, you please hear. Garuda is asking, tell me then, O Lord, to what condition the sinful come, and in what way they obtain the miseries of the way of Yama. The blessed Lord said, listen, O Lord of birds, and I will describe the way of Yama, the terrible event to hear about, by which those who are sinful go in hell. O Tarkasya, those who delight in sin, destitute of compassion and righteousness, attached to the wicked, averse from the true scriptures and the company of the good, self-satisfied, unbending, intoxicated with the pride of wealth, having the ungodly qualities, lacking the divine attributes, bewildered by many thoughts, enveloped in the net of delusion, reveling in the enjoyments of the desired nature, fall into a foul hell. Those men who are intent upon wisdom go to the highest goal. The sinfully inclined go miserably to the torments of Yama. Listen how the misery of this world accrues to the sinful, then how they, having passed through death, meet with torments. Having experienced the good or the bad actions in accordance with his former earning, then as the result of his actions, some diseases arise. Powerful death unexpectedly, like a serpent, approaches him, stricken with bodily and mental pain, yet anxiously hoping to live. He still has a hope to live. Not yet tired of life, being cared for by his dependents, with his body deforms through old age, nearing death in the house, he remains like a house dog. Yeah? Eating what is ungraciously placed before him, diseased with failing digestion, eating little, moving little, with eyes turned up through loss of vitality, with tubes obstructed by phlegm, exhausted by coughing and difficult breathing, with the death rattle in his throat. Kantha ghurghurayate. Yeah? Lying encircled by his sorrowing relatives, though being spoken to, he does not answer, being caught in the noose of death. He wants to speak, but he cannot speak. In this condition, with mind busy, with the support of his family, with senses unconquered, swooning with intense pain, he dies amidst his weeping relatives. In this last moment, O Tarkasya, a divine vision arises. All the worlds appear as one, and he does not attempt to say anything. Then, at the destruction of the decayed senses and numbing of the intelligence, the messengers of Yama come near and life departs. Yamdut comes. When the breath is leaving its place, the moment of dying seems an age, and pain like the stinging of 100 scorpions is experienced. We have experienced this, and we will experience this again. Yeah? Now he emits foam. His mouth becomes filled with saliva. The vital breaths of the sinful depart by the lower gateway. There are 9 doors in the body. Yeah? Navatwari Purite. Yeah? In the 5th chapter, 13 verse number 30, Lord Krishna is speaking. There are 9 doors. One is the evacuation, where we pass the stool. Second is the regeneration. These are 2. Then mouth, 3. 2 nostrils, 5. 2 eyes, 7. And 2 ears, 9. These are the 9 gates. It is described with what a person who is most sinful, they leave the body through the door of evacuation. People who are too lusty, they leave their body through the regeneration. People who are too greedy, they leave from mouth. And then like this, purity level increases, and then the topmost, they leave from the Brahmarandha, right? They leave the body from. So this is all there. Right? So, but here in this case, Lord Krishna is saying they leave from the lower gateway. And then he evacuates, he urinates, he passes stool as soon as he sees the Yamdutas. Yeah. Then two terrifying messengers of Yam come, of fierce aspect, bearing nooses and rods, naked with grinding teeth. They come. They put noose around his neck. Now he's given a body. Yatana deh avritya. Understand now. You have left this body, but your Suksham Sharir is now given a Yatana deh, given a body for suffering. And then they take you, right? As black as crows with their erect, with ugly faces, with nails like weapons, seeing whom his heart palpitates and he releases excrements. He passes stool and urine. The man of the size of a thumb crying, the man size of a thumb in front of Yamdutas, he is crying, oh, is dragged from the body by the servants of Yama, looking the while at his own body. Now he's looking at his own dead body. From the body he's taken out and he's looking at his own dead body now. As Yamduta is taking, they have given him a Yatna Sharir. Having put around him a body of torment, Yatna Deh, Avritya. Bhagavan Kapila, Yatna Deh, Avritya. He's covered by the Yatna Deh, right? And bound the noose. Balad, by the forceful, around his neck. They lead him a long way, taking like the king's officers a convict. He's literally put a noose around his neck and he's dragged. On the way, he is taken through the forest of fire. There is a sand, hot sand. It's all dark around. He's being dragged through that. He cannot walk. They beat him up. Ashaktaya, ashaktayo api, chalati api ashaktaya. Even though he doesn't have strength, but they make him walk again. He has to walk. Because they whip him, they beat him up. Nirasharam odaka. There is no place of rest. Odak, as in there is no water. He is thirsty. There is no water for him. To Yatana Sharir. And through this process, now he is realizing, he is remembering all his sins. He is thinking, why did I do that? What did I do this for? Right? Then he's realizing that. While thus leading him, the messengers menace him and recount over and over again the awful terrors of the hells. Hurry up, you wicked men. You shall go to the abode of Yama. We will lead you now without delay to Kumbhipak and other hells. You know Kumbhipak? There is a big kadhai. What do you call it in English? There is a big pan, boiling oil, and he is put into that. He is put into that. Yaksh asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, one of the questions asked was, Kah Varta? What is the topic of discussion? So what is the topic of discussion? You tell me. Interest rates going up? Trump winning the primaries? What is the topic of discussion? So he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, Kah Varta? What is the topic of discussion? And then Yudhishthira Maharaj says, Asmin mahamo hamaye katahe Surya ninara tridiva indhanena Masa ritudar viparighatanena Bhutani kalah pachati varta. Ye varta hai. This is the varta. What is he saying? What did Yudhishthira Maharaj say? Asmin mahamohamay katahe. This place is a big pan of mahamoh, of the greatest illusion. Sun is Agni, sun is fire. Day and night are fuel. Ratri diva indhanena. So, please stay with me. This place is a great illusion, like a great big pan. Sun is fuel, and day and night are burning woods. Masa ritu darvi parighattanena. Mas and ritu. The month and the seasons are, what do you call? Ladle. Right? Bhutani kalah pachtiti varta. The kal, the time is pachtiti, pacha raha hai, kha raha hai, is digesting the living entities. This is varta. This is the topic of discussion. Right? So this is what it is. We are all going into the kal, we are all lying into this great pan, and it's being boiled, and we are all being cooked, and kal will come and he will eat us and digest us. This is the varta. This is the topic of discussion. So like this, they are taking, where was I? He's beaten by servants with his falling heart and shuddering at their threats, beaten by the clogs upon the way, afflicted, remembering his misdeeds. Now he remembers his misdeeds. This is Krishna speaking to Garud from Garud Purana. There is no question about it. It has happened to us, and it will most likely happen to us again if we don't support each other. So let's please support each other. Let's make each other chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll just read a few more. Let's please, let's please understand the greatest danger. That's why Prabhupada used to say it's an emergency. Right? Hungry and thirsty, roasting in the sun, forest fires and hot winds struck upon the back with whips. Painfully he walks, almost powerless, along a road of burning sand, shelterless and waterless. Nirashram, niraudaka, without any water. And so this is, I'm speaking from Bhagavatam, and this is we're reading from Garud Purana. See, it's all there. That's what Bhagavan Kapila is saying. Now Lord Krishna is saying to Garud here in Garud. Here and there falling, exhausted and insensible, and rising again, in this way very miserably, led through the darkness to the abode of Yama. The man is brought there in a short time, and messengers show him the terrible torments of hell. Yojanani sahastrani navatin navat chadhana. Bhagavan Kapila is saying to Mother Devoti, 99,000 yojans. One yojan means 8 miles. One yojan is 8 miles. So 99,000 multiplied by 8. Those many miles that living entity or that person is carried in a few moments. Srila Prabhupada says they are saying that a man is going to the moon in these many minutes, and 18,000 X distance they have traveled, but what about this distance traveling? Nobody is talking about this distance traveling. Yeah? So they are taking to the abode of Yamraj. He goes there. Yeah? Now as he goes there, he is cut into pieces. He's cut into pieces by himself. Swakritam paratopiva. Sometimes others cut him into pieces. Sometimes he cut himself into pieces. Barbecue kiya tha na? Barbecue gelo. You did barbecue here. Now he is put into wood. A wood fire, his body is put into the wood fire. and there he's cut into pieces. Atma asadanam. He's made to eat his own flesh. This is Bhagwan Kapil saying. Atma asadanam, he is cut into pieces. Yeah. Swakritam, by himself, he is made to eat his flesh, or by others. Paratopiva. So like this. And then Bhagwan Kapil Dev, let's go back there. This you can read if you want. I can send you the link afterwards. But let's go back to our Zoom. Where was I? Yes. Yeah. We'll try to conclude now. Passes stool on the way to hell, bitten by dogs. Dogs bit him. The vultures come, they take his intestines out of his body. His body is cut into pieces, thrown on the road, and the elephants come and they stand on his body. And then Bhagwan Kapil Dev tells his mother. He goes through various hellish planets. And then Bhagwan Kapil says, sometimes the hellish punishments are visible in the earth also. Atraiva narakah swarga iti matah prochakshate. Bhagwan Kapil Dev says, my dear mother, Atraiv, here itself, there is hell. Prachakshate, my dear mother, sometimes it is said that the hell is here itself. Right? Ya yatana vai narakasya ta api upalakshita. It is seen here also, my dear mother. Once in Assam, they had these elephants. And suddenly the elephant, he got loose. He became like mad. And there was a jeep coming. Jeep was coming. He turned the jeep over. People fell. 2 people could not run. And the elephant just crushed them to death. So it happens here also. That's what Bhagwan Kapil Dev is saying. So that is a glimpse that is telling us what awaits us. Why do we want to go to hell and experience that? Might as well learn here. Then Bhagwan Kapil Dev says now, he concludes that, who goes to hell? So first part, life and death of a materialist. Then his post-death experience, the post-death experience. Then Bhagwan Kapil Dev says, my dear mother, Kutumba Bibhrana, once again. Evam Kutumba Bibhrana. Kutumbam Bibhrana. Evam. Therefore, in their various attempts to take care of the family, you have seen most of the cases, people have committed sins because of the family reasons. Dhritarashtra, because of the family reasons. So many kings have lost their kingdom because of the family reasons. Right? We have seen that. So that's what Bhagwan Kapil Dev is saying. Evam kutumba bibhranam. Right? Udar ambhar evava. Either taking care of his own self or taking care of the kutumb. For these 2 reasons. Visrajya iha ubhav. Right? That living entity, when he was too engaged when he was performing sinful activities to take care of his family or take care of his own body, filling up his own belly. Visrajya, by living, both. He leaves his body behind, he also leaves his family behind, both. For them, he performed all these sinful activities. Right? Bhunkte tat phalam idrisham. He goes through the reactions of his sinful actions in this way, my dear mother, which he has already described. Because of that. Then as if Mother Devati is asking, does anyone else go with him? No. Ekah prapadyate dhyantam hitvedam swa kalevram. No, my dear mother. Ekah prapadyate. Dhyantam means darkness. That person alone, only that person himself or herself goes alone. No one else. Hitvedam swa kalevram. By leaving this body, that man or woman, only they go. And then what do they take on their way with them? Then the Supreme Lord says all their sinful activities is their patheya. Patheya means their lunch, lunch on the way. As you pack your meals for the journey, so the meal for the journey is their sinful actions only alone. That person takes alone. So that person who was always, and then who decides that? Who decides that? Then mother is asking. Then Bhagavan says, Devain asadhanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dev. The time factor. The providence. Devain asadhanam. Shamalam. Niriye puman. Of his sinful actions, the reaction of his sinful actions, my dear mother, are decided by the Devain. By the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of them going to Niriye Puman. And when they are going there, when they are bhunkte, when they are, going through these activities, then Bhagavan says, Kutumba Poshasya Hritvittam, because he was engaged in the taking care of his kutumba. Now when he is going through this process, he feels like Hrit Vittam Ati Atura. He is so anxious and he feels like as if his wealth is being taken away. Understand? He's feeling, he's going through those emotions as if my whole wealth is, Hrit Vittam, my wealth is stolen away. But because he was doing all those sinful activities. Because of that. And then Bhagavan once again says, to conclude this, Kutumba Bharana Utsuka, somebody who is too keen to take care of Kutumba, of his family, by the sinful means. Yati Andhatamishram. What happens to them? My dear mother, they go to Andhatamishra, which is most fearful hell. In 5th canto, we will discuss all the hellish planets. I think there are 32 hellish planets.
Yeah, see, that's bigger figures. It's not here.
Yeah, I mean you can divide. You can divide. Like in a kitchen, there is a chopping, there is a frying, there is cutting. So that one hell, you call it one, but inside there are 3 subsections, you can say. Yeah. So Bhagavan is saying, Yati Jiva Andhatamishram Tamsah Paramam Padam, which is the topmost of the hellish planets, my dear mother. That Jeev who is too busy, utsuk, to take care of his family members. Deh or Geh mein aa sakti jisko kaha gaya. Deh as in body and Geh as in so-called home, so-called samsara, right? If they want to take care of their family through the sinful means, then my dear mother, their destination, they go to Andhatamishra, which is the Paramam Padam, which is the topmost pad in the they go there. And then, after going through that process, now what is today's verse? Adastan narlokasya yavatir yatnadayah yavatir yatnadayah kramshe sam anukramya Punar atra avrjet shuchihi. So what Bhagavan is saying, that now after going through all these hellish planets, so now life and death of a materialist person, first section, then who goes to hell, and when they go to hell, what they go through, and Bhagavan Kapila is saying, Kramsha Sama Anukramya. In a proper sequence, there is no line breaking there, there is no jumping the queue there. So in a proper sequence, they go through Yavatir Yatanadaya. As many yatana, as many punishments for their sinful actions in a proper sequence, my dear mother, they go through. And then they get purified, as in their sins are purged. You know, purged in English, yeah? So their sins are purged. And then Punar Atra Avrjet Shuchi. They come back here again. So we all have gone through this. Now we have come back here. And now we decide what is our next destination. So we'll stop now. Yeah. And then we'll meet again next week. Yeah? So Grantha Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande, Srila Gurudev ki.